Horrifying end. That's what some called it. But for Darryl Dawkins, the truth was even worse. His funeral was packed with mourners. They came to say goodbye to the man who shattered backboards with thunderous dunks. The gentle giant who changed basketball forever was gone too soon. The doctors said heart attack. He was only 58, but that simple explanation doesn't tell the whole story of what really happened to one of basketball's most electric personalities. Darryl Dawkins changed basketball forever with his power and style. He was the first to jump from high school straight to the pros. His dunks broke glass and changed how the game was played. His larger-than-life personality made him a fan favorite everywhere he went. But how did a legend like this end up like that? How did the man they called Chocolate Thunder fall so far from his pedestal? The answers reveal a tragic pattern that started long before his final heartbeat. In August 2015, Darryl Dawkins died at just 58 years old. It happened in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where he had settled after his playing days. The news shocked basketball fans around the world. His family announced he had suffered a heart attack. He left behind his wife Janice and their children Dara, Tabitha, Nicholas, and Alexis. The basketball community lost an icon. His family lost their foundation. Basketball fans everywhere felt the loss deeply. His death hit the NBA community especially hard. Players, coaches, and executives shared stories about his kindness and humor. They talked about his powerful dunks that changed the game. When Moses Malone died just 17 days later, it scared people. The NBA Players Association quickly started a heart screening program for retired players. Two legends gone so quickly raised serious questions about player health after retirement. But what the media never fully explained was how Dawkins' body had been breaking down for decades. His physical decline started way back in the 1980s, long before most fans noticed anything wrong. The damage began long before his final day. Years of physical play, injuries, and personal struggles took their toll on the man who once seemed indestructible on the court. In 1975, Darryl Dawkins made history when the Philadelphia 76ers drafted him. He came straight from Maynard Evans High School in Orlando. No college games, no waiting, just a teenager with incredible physical gifts thrown directly into the professional spotlight. He needed to make money fast. His family was poor. The NBA offered a way out of poverty, not just for him, but for his loved ones too. This financial pressure would shape many of his career decisions. People quickly noticed his power. He got the nickname Chocolate Thunder because of his monster dunks. Even in a league full of athletes, Dawkins stood out. His combination of size, strength, and explosive power was rare. In November 1979, he did something that changed basketball rules forever. He shattered a backboard with a dunk against the Kansas City Kings. Just weeks later, he did it again against the San Antonio Spurs. The second one was even more dramatic, sending glass flying everywhere and forcing the game to be delayed. The NBA had to make changes because of him. They created breakaway rims that would bend instead of break. They also made rules against dunks that might break the glass. Dawkins literally forced the league to redesign its equipment because of his raw power. Dawkins embraced his role as an entertainer. He named his most famous slam the Chocolate Thunder Flying, Robinzine Crying, Teeth Shaking, Glass Breaking, Rump Roasting, Bun Toasting, Wham Bam, Glass Breaker I Am Jam. This ridiculous name showed his flair for promotion and fun. During the 1977 NBA Finals, Dawkins showed his wild side. He got into a fight during Game 2 against the Portland Trail Blazers. The incident revealed another side of his personality, his struggle to control his emotions under pressure. It started when he fell hard to the floor with Bobby Gross. Then Maurice Lucas of Portland sucker punched Dawkins from behind. The cheap shot enraged the young player. Violence erupted on the court as players from both teams joined the fray. In the chaos, Dawkins swung back but accidentally hit his own teammate, Doug Collins. Collins needed 4 stitches above his right eye. The friendly fire made the situation even worse for Philadelphia. Both Dawkins and Lucas got ejected from the game, but Dawkins wasn't done expressing his anger. His fury had just begun, and what happened next would become part of NBA legend. He stormed into the 76ers locker room and lost control. He tore a toilet right off the wall, ripping it from its plumbing. He ripped out a row of lockers, bending metal with his bare hands. Then he used one of the lockers to barricade himself inside the room, refusing to come out. Today, a player would face huge fines and a long suspension for this kind of behavior. Their reputation would be permanently damaged. But back then, it just made his legend grow bigger. Fans and media loved the wild story of the young star's rampage. The Sixers lost that game. They eventually lost the series too. The incident showed Dawkins had incredible strength but questionable judgment, a pattern that would repeat throughout his career. Dawkins' career was full of ups and downs. His biggest problem was foul trouble. His aggressive style of play regularly put him on the wrong side of referees' whistles. He holds the NBA record for the most personal fouls in one season, 386 fouls in 1983-84. No one has ever come close to breaking this record. It stands as a testament to both his physical style and his lack of defensive discipline. In just 2 seasons, 1982 to 1984, he fouled out of 44 games. That's more than a quarter of all games he played. When the referee called that 6th foul, Dawkins had to leave the court, unable to help his team in crucial moments. For comparison, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's single-season high for foul-outs was just 7 games. Despite playing nearly 350 fewer games than Michael Jordan, Dawkins accumulated 1 more personal foul in his career. Despite this problem, he was an amazing shooter when he stayed on the court. His field goal percentage was .599 in the 1982-83 season, ranking 3rd in the league. When he got the ball near the basket, he was nearly unstoppable. But his foul trouble forced him to play too carefully. Coaches had to limit his minutes to avoid early disqualifications. He couldn't be aggressive when his team needed him most. Often, he would pick up quick fouls and spend long stretches on the bench. The critics said he lacked discipline. They said he never learned to play defense without fouling. This reputation followed him from team to team throughout his career. In 1985, Dawkins suffered a career-changing injury that would begin his physical decline. He slipped in his bathtub and seriously hurt his back. Such a mundane accident would forever alter his basketball trajectory. He never fully recovered from this injury. He needed 2 major back surgeries in just 2 years. The operations left him with chronic pain and limited mobility. The explosive power that defined his early career began to fade. During the 1986-87 season, the injury limited him to just 6 games. Teams started seeing him as damaged goods. His value in the league plummeted as his health problems persisted. He got traded multiple times. First to the New Jersey Nets, then to the Utah Jazz, and finally to the Detroit Pistons. Each move was because teams saw him as injury-prone. No franchise wanted to build around a player with such serious health concerns. His body was breaking down, but his personal life was suffering too. The physical challenges coincided with emotional ones, creating a perfect storm of difficulties. While playing for the Detroit Pistons from 1987 to 1989, Dawkins faced a devastating personal loss. His estranged wife died unexpectedly. The details of their relationship remain private, but the impact on Dawkins was profound. We don't know many details about this relationship, but we do know it hit him hard. Friends reported he struggled with grief while trying to manage his career and ongoing injuries. During his time with the Pistons, he played only 14 games over 2 seasons. The combination of his back injuries and personal grief kept him off the court. He was physically and emotionally unable to perform at the level expected of NBA players. This tragedy added emotional pain to his physical struggles. The timing couldn't have been worse, as he was already fighting to save his NBA career amid mounting health problems. Many basketball experts feel Dawkins never lived up to his potential. Despite being 6 feet 11 inches and incredibly strong, he never averaged even 9 rebounds per game. For a player of his size and athletic ability, his statistics often disappointed. Critics unfairly compared him to Wilt Chamberlain, another dominant big man. Dawkins himself once admitted, "I could never be Wilt." Wilt's much taller. He recognized the unfair expectations placed on him because of his physical gifts. People called him more showman than player. They focused on his dunks and personality instead of his full game. The backboard-breaking moments overshadowed his complete contributions to basketball. The Philadelphia 76ers traded him in 1982. 9 months later, they won the NBA championship without him. The timing suggested he wasn't necessary for team success. In his final NBA season, the Detroit Pistons waived him in February 1989. 4 months later, they won the title. Again, his former team achieved ultimate success immediately after his departure. Twice, teams won championships right after getting rid of him. This added to the narrative that he wasn't a winner. Fair or not, it became part of his legacy. The entertaining player who couldn't contribute to championship teams. But Darryl Dawkins never quit on basketball. After his NBA career ended, he kept playing. His love for the game never diminished, even when his body couldn't perform at the highest level. He went overseas to play in Italy. He joined the Harlem Globetrotters for a while. He played in smaller leagues like the Continental Basketball Association. He refused to walk away from the sport that had defined his life. In all, his professional basketball career lasted 25 seasons. He finally retired in 2000 at age 43. Few players show such longevity and determination to continue playing despite diminished abilities and opportunities. Then he became a coach. He led the Pennsylvania Valley Dogs to a championship in the United States Basketball League. He also coached at Lehigh Carbon Community College. He found ways to stay connected to basketball even when he couldn't play. Throughout his later years, he served as an NBA ambassador. He worked with charities like Autism Speaks and the Special Olympics. He used his fame to help others, showing a generosity of spirit that defined his post-playing days. Dawkins went pro to escape poverty and help his family. By 1982, he had signed a 5-year deal with the 76ers worth about $700,000 per year. This was significant money in that era and fulfilled his goal of financial security. While he made millions during his career, life after basketball wasn't always easy. He sometimes worked odd jobs like waiting tables, driving trucks, and coating pipes. The transition from NBA star to regular life proved challenging at times, but he eventually found stability through coaching and community work. He reinvented himself as a mentor and ambassador for the game. His infectious personality and love for basketball served him well in these roles. After Dawkins died in 2015, and Moses Malone followed just days later, the NBA finally took action. The Players Association launched mobile heart screening programs for retired players. These tragedies finally pushed the league to address long-standing health concerns. But for Dawkins, this help came much too late. His body had been worn down by years of physical play, injuries, and the strain of professional sports. The toll of being a power player in the NBA had accumulated over decades. For a man who had revolutionized the game with his power, his heart couldn't keep up with the damage done to his body. The irony wasn't lost on those who remembered him breaking backboards with ease in his youth. His death certificate said heart attack. But the real story was about a body that broke down piece by piece over decades. The official cause of death was just the final chapter in a long physical decline. His career was electric but chaotic, and the physical toll lasted until his final breath. The same strength that made him famous ultimately contributed to his early death. Chocolate Thunder changed basketball forever. His dunks made the NBA change its rules. He opened the door for high school players to enter the draft. He entertained millions with his power and personality. But while he gave everything to the game gave him nothing back in the end. No championships, no lasting security, no health support until it was too late. If you want to hear more about forgotten legends like Darryl Dawkins, hit subscribe.